Hey guys, Mr. Preacher Man 75 back with you. Had a little bit of extra time this afternoon. Thought I would try to maybe finish up my tips for new buyer series. Um, so hopefully, if you haven't seen those yet, you can go check those out. The previous two, but in the last couple, we've talked about just my suggestions for what you might want to do if you're a first-time gun buyer or someone that's looking into maybe buying their first pistol. Just some suggestions about different guns you might look at, um, things to take into consideration when you're going to purchase your first pistol, and really the thing that will be one of the bigger deciding factors is what's your purpose in buying the gun. We talked about that a little bit in the first video, but um, we've talked so far about guns for home defense. We've talked a little bit about guns that you might choose for concealed carry. What we haven't talked about yet is the third in those categories, which would be the recreational purposes. So if you were looking to buy your first pistol and just wanted to take it target shooting or take it out in the woods and plink around a little bit, or um, take it to the range and shoot, or whatever, just recreational purposes. What might be some good choices for a recreational handgun, especially if you're a new gun buyer. So we'll talk about that for just a little bit, and there's really, it comes down to caliber selection first of all, first and foremost, and what's going to be a good caliber for that type of thing. And the primary one that I would point you to, and you're looking at at one of my guns here, would be a 22 caliber pistol, 22 long rifle in particular. Um, there's a number of advantages to shooting 22, especially if you're a new shooter and you're shooting recreationally. First of all, a 22 is one of the smaller rounds that you'll find. The bullets are very small, and that means low recoil, which is good for a new shooter. It means you're not going to have any trouble handling the pistol probably. It's not going to be uncomfortable to shoot. It's nothing like that that would discourage a new shooter from maybe following up. And so that's one major advantage that the 22 has over a larger caliber is in felt recoil. It's just going to be an easier gun to handle. Um, the other major advantage that a 22 has is that it's very inexpensive to shoot. Generally speaking, the guns are going to be a little bit less expensive. I mean, you can get some fancier 22s, don't get me wrong, but generally speaking, for a nice 22 caliber pistol, you can find those for quite a bit less than you would pay for a comparable gun in a larger caliber. But the ammunition is really where the difference comes in. You can buy 22 ammunition very inexpensively, especially compared to the ammunition costs of other calibers. If you look right here, that's 200 rounds of 22 long rifle there, and those are older. Actually, I inherited those from a family member that doesn't shoot anymore, and they'd been sitting around a number of years, but I think they're still good. But those are 22. Those are CCI mini mags in 22 long rifle, which is good quality ammunition, and that's, like I said, 200 rounds there, and that's probably, I don't know, 20 bucks maybe. You're looking at 10 bucks for 100 of the CCI mini mags. Now you can buy bulk pack ammunition from Walmart, and that would be boxes of 250 to up to 500 in a box. You can buy a box of 500 for about 25 bucks, I think, 25, 30 bucks maybe at your local Walmart. So that's a lot of ammunition for not very much. And you compare that to even 9mm, which might be the next most affordable round. 9mm, a 50 round box of 9mm is going to run you 10 or 12, maybe even $14 for the cheap stuff. So .22 is very affordable in terms of the cost of the gun and in terms of cost of the ammunition. So in terms of your startup costs, you're going to be better off there. And then also, like we said, in terms of the recoil, the felt recoil for a new shooter is going to be very minimal. Now, this is my Ruger SR22. This is one of the newer guns in my collection. I haven't spent a lot of time shooting it, but the times that I have shot it, it's just really fun to shoot. You can take it out, target shoot, or plink around with it, and it's just a really fun gun to shoot. Other choices in the same kind of category, the Ruger SR22 is most similar probably to the Walther P22. Both of those guns you can find at most any gun store, and buy them new for around $300. I would say 300, maybe 350, depending on where you live. And those are both excellent choices. Sig Sauer makes a 22 that I've seen mixed reviews on, but the Sig Mosquito is a 22 long rifle made by Sig, and it is a larger gun. It's closer to a normal full-size gun. The SR22 and P22 are both kind of smaller. I mean, it actually fits my hand pretty well. I've got smaller hands, but the Sig would be a little bit bigger. Ruger also makes the 2245 series or the Mark series pistols in 22, which those are fantastic guns, and those are probably the standard bearers, I would say, in the 22 long rifle category. It would be the Ruger Mark series, or if you wanted to pay a little bit more money, you could go to the Browning Buck Mark series. Both of those are outstanding 22 pistols. And so it's just about what you want to spend. Like I said, you can get some of those Browning Buck Marks that are going to come with like gold inlay and gold triggers and things like that you'll spend $600 or $700 on, I guess. But for a good, functional, fun 22 pistol, you can get into those for easily around $300, and buy 500 rounds of ammunition at Walmart and be set to go. So that would be really my suggestion. If you wanted something a little bit bigger, 9mm would be the next caliber up for recreational purposes that I would recommend. Simply, well, for the same reasons actually. 9mm for a larger caliber pistol, for a larger caliber handgun, 9mm, the recoil on most 9mm is going to be something that you can manage, even for a new shooter. And the ammunition cost, again, is well higher than the 22 would be, but it's also going to be cheaper than any of the other calibers probably that you would look at. And it's the most readily available also. You can almost always find 9mm ammo out there. So if you wanted something bigger than the 22, 9mm would be the next recommendation. And I've already talked about some good 9mm pistols in my other videos, so you can check those out. But primarily for recreational purposes, I'm going to recommend a 22 pistol, 22 caliber, 22 long rifle specifically. And you really can't go wrong with the SR22. It's a newer gun, so you may not be able to find it in all your gun stores, but if you can find one, I would recommend it. The Walther P22 is another excellent choice. Smith & Wesson makes one. I forget what it's called even. It's a little bit bigger and heavier than these, but it's a good one as well and falls into that price category. Beretta makes a really weird looking 22 that would probably be about $100 more, I think. So look around and see what you can find, but those would be my recommendations for the recreational pistols. And so we'll cut this video off here. I'm going to shoot another segment, and we'll discuss gun stores, gun shops for first-time buyers, some things that you might want to be aware of. So hopefully everybody's doing well. If you've enjoyed this video or this series, take just a second and let me know that, and also check out the other videos on my channels and give me a sub if you want. I'm getting real close to that 100 subscriber mark, and would love to hit that pretty soon. So anyway, Everybody be well. We'll talk to you again soon.